Hello everyone, and welcome to From the Heart Friday, session 159, with me, Jessica Brigden of Jess B, Creative Cardiology. Hello and welcome. Happy Friday to you. Hope you had a great week and are looking forward to the weekend. Should be beautiful here in upstate New York. It is like 55, 58 degrees this afternoon. The sun is out. The sky is blue. It is the perfect fall day. Absolutely beautiful. And I think that is supposed to continue into the weekend and even get a little bit warmer. So I am looking forward to this beautiful fall weather that we're having. And with that being said, it's kind of coming to an end here with these beautiful leaves as we've had some rain and some wind. So the leaves are a bit past peak. They're starting to fall. Trees are getting kind of bare, and I wanted to make sure that I got a chance to use the Soft Seedlings stamp set. This was one of the first fall sets that I purchased from the mini catalog, and it's been sitting here on my craft table. And I know in a few previous videos I'd used a couple of the sentiments, but I hadn't had a chance to show you this beautiful maple leaf and all of that. So today we are going to be doing 2 soft seedling cards. We're going to do a multicolor technique using sponge daubers in order to create a more realistic looking fall leaf. So I'm going to flip the camera. Hi Polly, welcome. Hello everyone. And I look forward to showing these techniques with you. Okay, so let's flip around here. Voila, there we go. Okay, so we are just 10 days left here in the month of October, which is crazy how quickly this is going. My host code is MGAVMJ7N, and I do have a few different tutorial specials going on this month. I announced on Tuesday that anyone that placed an order of $50 or more with me during the month of October here, so between if you already placed your order, you're good. But if you haven't already, you have till the end of the month here, just 10 days left. And I will send you a Rustic Harvest sampler pack. I've actually got some of them all ready to go and stick in the mail. And I did order some more Rustic Harvest paper just in case, because that is currently on low inventory. So since we're nearing the end of this fall season here, and we've only got 2 more months left of the mini catalog, now is the time to stock up on those fall favorites while they're still available, because once they're gone, they probably will not be restocked here for the season. So the Soft Seedling stamp set you can find here on page 53 of your mini. Really pretty. That's where you'll also find that gorgeous fall leaf embossing folder there at the top of the page. All right, and it's just a page over from the gorgeous Fond of Autumn bottle, and then our Hello Harvest, Rustic Harvest collection there too. So we are going to go ahead and get started here. Like I said, we're using the Soft Seedling stamp set. I'm going to use the Rustic Harvest Designer Series paper for some accents, and we are going to use some sponge daubers too. And they are kind of hidden in the catalog. If you hadn't really looked for them before, you will find them here on page 128. They are item number 8. There's a couple of daubers pictured here. You actually get a set of 5 for $5. So you get 5 little finger daubers here. We'll pick a couple more, 1 for each finger. There you go. So you get a set of 5. And then, of course, I've used mine, so that's why they're all colored there. They come pristine when you receive them, and you can use them for whatever colors you like. But yes, it's a great deal. They're page 128, the sponge daubers here. Okay, so first card, like I said, I'm using the Rustic Harvest paper kind of as my inspiration here. And so I'm sticking with the colors in that collection. So we are going to start with some crushed curry for our card base. So just a 5.5 by 8.5 fold here and score at 4 1/4. Okay, so with this one, then I've got a piece of Cajun Craze, and this is 4x4, but I'm not gonna leave it like that. I'm actually going to do a little bit of distressing on this piece. So I'm gonna come in maybe like 3/4 of an inch here, and I'm actually gonna tear this edge. I don't need it perfectly straight. I like that torn look. So you can cast that off to the side for now. You can even rough up the edges even more with your fingernail. This is like an old classic technique. Hi, Wendy. How are you? The distressing technique, an oldie but goodie. You can tear your paper. You can rough it up. And then if you have some Friday frustrations built up, go ahead and just crumple it. Woo! Get out your, this is stamp therapy here this afternoon. Give that paper a good old crunch. Break those fibers down. We've got wonderful Stampin' Up! Thick cardstock. I love this stuff, and you can really beat it up, and you and you don't have to worry about it tearing. It's still good. All right, so then I'm going to come in again, just rough that torn edge up just a little bit more. All right, then we kind of flatten it out just a little bit. Okay, so there we go. So what I'm going to do, you could glue it down like that if you want. We bring in just a little something to protect your work surface. You could also come in with your sponge dauber that you're going to use for Cajun Craze. We could just daub just a little bit here, and you could even kind of run that over your cardstock a little bit if you want to highlight some of those kind of raised, creased areas there. Add just a little bit more dimension to the texture that we've just added. All right, so then we, again, just kind of smooth it out so that we can apply some adhesive here. All right, go ahead and apply your adhesive on the back here. A little bit in the middle for good measure. Okay, and then we are going to make sure your card opens the right way. After you just release those frustrations, you got to calm down again to finish the card here. So I've got 1/4 of an inch from the top, the left side, and then the bottom. And smoothing that out, pressing that down. Oh, calming down. Okay. Now I'm going to come in with a piece of Very Vanilla. I wanted a little warmer tone, so that's why I'm going with vanilla here instead of basic white. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to use crushed curry here for my stamp. And basically I had a scrap piece of Very Vanilla that was in my little baggie bin here. This is 3 by 4.5. So you do actually want a piece that's a little bit oversized. And so then I'm going to ink up my stamp here. Got lots of good crushed curry ink on there. Okay. Then we're going to bring those sponge daubers. So I'm going to do daubing in 3 colors. So we stamped and crushed curry. I'm going to add just a little bit of pumpkin pie here. So that's what my lightest dauber. And again, you're just kind of daubing, all right, kind of randomly around on your image. Then we are going to bring in the Cajun Craze. So that's the next color here. I'm going to re-ink a little bit. It kind of randomly daub around. All right, you don't want to do the entire, you just want to kind of randomly tap around because you want that crushed curry ink still to kind of show through. And then I'm going to come in with a little bit of Mossy Meadow, a little bit of the darker green here. And again, just a couple little random daubings. All right. And then this is when it's okay to actually breathe on your stamp. So go ahead and huff on that just to moisten it just a little bit. Okay, and then we're gonna come here. I'm gonna stamp this towards the center here of my image, or of my paper, excuse me. Okay. Oh, that comes out so cool. Okay, I could have done a little more daubing in the center because I've got a little bit of a round mark there, but that's okay. And then we're going to do a little bit more distressing. I'm going to go from this top left corner, and I'm going to start. You don't want to get too carried away because you don't want to rip off your stamped image there. Okay, so just rough up the top here. And then we're going to do the same, just kind of do sort of a straight tear across the bottom. So that's why we had our paper a bit oversized, so that we had room to do some tearing, a little bit more distressing here. All right, so then we'll apply our adhesive. All right, so this, I'm going to angle this over top. Just make sure that all your paper stays within the confines here of your card. All right. Yes, Polly says she loves using the sponge daubers with the soft seed. It's perfect. It's like they were made for each other. Yes, and every time you do this, you're going to come out with a different image. So we're actually going to do this technique again on the second card, and that way you'll be able to see exactly how differently they turn out. It's going to be pretty cool. Okay, so now let's take, let's come in with the crushed curry because I do want it to show up, and we'll stamp our sentiment. So I love, you guys know I'm a fan of fonts, fun fonts, and I do like the script here. So I think I'm going to combine two of the phrases and do "so grateful for you." And then I'm going to use the little, we always called these spinners as kids, the little seedling there, and stamp that here on the right side of the card. So I've already got a few of the stamps out, but we're going to do a "so grateful for you." And I'm going to bring in a block here. So let's do, actually we can use the lines. If you've got some grid paper there, go ahead and line things up. So grateful. Okay, let's see. Let's do that off to the side just a little bit. There you go. I think that'll work out. Let's see. Maybe. Yeah. All right. We're going to go with it. Okay. So we'll ink this up. Stamp this here on the right. Kind of the midway point. Yeah, that's kind of fun. It's a little crooked. I'll put some little metallic dots on there, and nobody will know the difference. And then I'm going to come back in here with my crushed curry to ink up my little seedling. And I'm going to just kind of stamp that off on the bottom corner. Just kind of subtle there. Okay, so like I said, some brushed metallic adhesive back dots. With this, you get lots of choices because you've got your brushed gold, your copper, all your different colors on here. And so we'll just pick a couple. I think I'm going to go with this sort of, it's kind of a silvery here. And I'm going to take one of the bigger dots and put that up there in that left corner of my, kind of anchor my stamped images there. And then we'll come in, I'll come in from the bottom. Do you guys have a method for where you work your, when you are removing embellishments from the sheet? As you can see, I have a tendency, apparently, I work from the bottom up. So that's why I couldn't just take one from the top. I had to work my way up. So let's see, I'm going to put this one kind of over here, kind of fill in the gap a little bit where my sentiments were just a little bit crooked. And then we're going to bring a small one in here. And that's just a fuzz. Okay, I'm going to put that one down here. All right, so we kind of have this like falling leaf thing going on there. All right, I love it. I think it came out super quick and simple. Fun technique card for you. And I definitely hope you give that a try. But soft seedling stamp, as Polly mentioned, just made for this technique. Super duper easy. And I like using the sponge daubers for this technique the best. There are a couple other ways you can achieve similar things. For example, I received this beautiful swap card from Karen Braxton. And so she did a similar technique, but she actually used baby wipes and applying your drops of re-inker onto a baby wipe, kind of essentially creating your own ink pad, then stamping onto that wipe, onto that ink pad, and then stamping onto your paper. That's a really fun technique. Very similar to this, and obviously you get a little bit more of a saturated look with that. I actually prefer this because I have this, I don't have any babies. I don't have any babies in the house. So baby wipes are kind of expensive. You can get some at the Dollar Tree. But the problem I run into is that I'll buy a package of baby wipes to do this baby wipe technique. I'll make a couple of cards, seal the package up, stick it in a Ziploc baggie or something. And no matter what, when I come back, a few weeks, a month, whatever, later on, to get another baby wipe to try it again, they've already dried up. So to me, baby wipes, it just does not pay for me to buy them for that kind of technique and keep them in the house because they always end up going dry on me. But with a sponge dauber, you could always even rinse these out if you want. Sponge daubers, honestly, you can use them and use them and use them. And I do have a couple that I absolutely use to death, and the foam kind of puckered a little bit at the end, and then I knew it was time to retire them. But really, your sponge daubers are going to last you a long time. All right, so the second card that we are going to use, I am going to pull in, like I said, some of that Rustic Harvest Designer Series paper here. I'm going to use this black and white pattern to create a background for us. I need your help deciding whether we should go with a mossy meadow theme or with a Cajun craze. So here's the idea. We would place our Rustic Harvest paper as the background. Then we would do a contrasting layer of Rustic Harvest paper. And then we're going to stamp our leaf. We're not going to do any distressing on this one, but we're going to stamp our leaf as our center image here, along with our greeting. So, would you prefer the Rustic Harvest, or excuse me, the Mossy Meadow, or should I go with the Cajun Craze here? Look like this, and then do our image in the front. Okay. Oh, Polly has a great idea for your sponge daubers. She labels them right here on the base with her favorites that she keeps using. So what I do, I guess I don't label mine, but I do tend to use like one for the oranges, one's for the greens, one for the blues, one for the reds. So I tend to use the same sponge for kind of multiple shades there. But what I do actually, before I started the video this afternoon, I did do a little test up here on my scrap just to make sure I actually had my colors correct here, just so I knew which ones that I had. I didn't want to accidentally stamp a red pad on my, on my green ink pad or onto my yellow, vice versa there. Okay, hey Brenton. All right, so for those of you watching, you need to help me. I have a choice here. So for the next card, we're either going to do Mossy Meadow with the little pumpkin vine, or we're going to do Cajun Craze with the little kind of polka dot stripes there. All right, so while you guys are casting your opinion on that, all right, I'm going to bring in my piece of Very Vanilla again. I'm using just a little bit warmer tone. This square here is 3.5 by 3.5. And we're going to bring in our soft seedling, our maple leaf again. We're going to do the same thing we did with the first card. I'm going to start by inking my stamp with crushed curry all over. Okay. And then we're going to use our daubers. I'm going to start with my lightest and then go darker. Okay, so I'm going to start with some pumpkin pie. Okay, again, just kind of randomly daubed all over. Then coming in with my Cajun Craze. Okay, so again, light and then going a little bit darker here. Again, randomly stamping. Okay, and then we're going to do a little bit of Mossy Meadow. You could go with some early espresso. It's kind of fun, the different combinations you could use here. All right, kind of coming around the edges a little bit. Okay. And then go ahead and huff on it again. Just to kind of moisten it. Just make sure you're good and inky there. And I'm going to position this. Let's see. Which way do we want our leaf to go? Do we want it kind of straight up here to the side? Went to the side on that one. Let's go a little more vertical on this one, right in the center here. All right, Brenton votes for Mossy Meadow. All right, you guys, or do you ladies agree? All right. Ooh, that one came out cool. It's a little more blended, a little softer transition here. Really cool. But again, see how fun they are? Comes out just a little bit different every time you do it there. Okay, so we're going to go with the Mossy Meadow here. Again, we have our standard card base. I'm using 5.5 by 8.5. Fold and score there at 4 1/4. And then I'm using this pattern, the Cajun Craze polka dots here. I'm going to use the black and white pattern from the Rustic Harvest Designer Series paper. This is 4 by 5 1/4. Okay. Now what's cool with this black and white paper too is you could also take your daubers or even your blending brushes too, and you could add color to your leaves. For example, I'm gonna kind of cover this over in the middle, but you could take your daubers and make these leaves different colors if you wanted to. All right, so don't let that black and white paper hold you back and just think, oh, black and white. No, black and white is meant to be colored. All right, so this little strip here with the Mossy Meadow pumpkin vines, this is 2 by 5. Oh, come on here, there we go. 2 by 5. I'm going to place this across the center, or somewhat towards the center. All right, and then we have our 3.5 by 3.5 piece of Very Vanilla. This is going to go right in the middle. Before we place that down, let's go ahead, we'll stamp. I think I'm going to do the, I was going to do Thinking of You, and I could do that in Mossy Meadow there across the bottom. Could also just go really simple with the little hello. And if I did that, peel off my little spinner there. I did that. Let's use Mossy Meadow for this one. And come in here. I think I'm just going to do that right down here at the bottom. Oh, Very nice. I had a little bit of excess ink. I was worried I might end up with a little bit of a halo image there, but it came out perfect. Yay. All right, so we're going to pop this up with some dimensionals. Okay, I'm just going to go with 5 for this one in each corner and 1 in the middle. All right, so we'll pop this in the center. Okay, I think that's about center there. Okay, and then come back in here with our brush metallic adhesive back dots. Say that 5 times fast. And working from the bottom up. It's funny because I use my dimensionals, boom, right out of the center. But I'm anal with my with my embellishments and work from the bottom up. That's kind of funny. I didn't realize I had 2 different methods for my madness there. All right, I'm gonna just kind of pin my sentiment right there. Now you do get multiple sizes, kind of your small and your large for each color. However, I've used all of the small ones and kind of my brushed silver here, so we're gonna just use the large ones. And go. There we go. We'll just do 3 all around. Perfect. All right, how quick and simple and fun is that? So we used Stampin' Up's Soft Seedlings set. So glad we finally got a chance to use that today. Love this. We used our sponge daubers in 3 different colors. So we inked our stamp with crushed curry, applied 3 different colors of ink with our sponge daubers to create this fun multicolored stamped images. We did a bit of distressing, little paper tearing, some crumpling, a little distressing on there. And then just a little bit of simple stamping here. So nothing too complicated, fun, quick, easy. This kind of go-to layouts here. Showcasing a couple different patterns of the Designer Series paper. Lots of fun fall colors and fun technique. So I hope you'll give it a try. Hope you've enjoyed the projects today. And again, if you place an online order using my host code, if your order is $50 or more, I will send you my Rustic Harvest sampler, and that'll get you started and recreating some of the projects that you've seen here on my channel. Give you a good start on that. All right, so if you're watching the replay on YouTube, don't forget to give me that thumbs up, like, subscribe, all of that. Share the love. Thank you all. Be sure to share my video, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. You can share with a friend, share to your page, share to Pinterest, all that good stuff. I really, really appreciate it. Happy stamping to y'all. Have a great weekend, and I will see you next week. All right, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.